Hey, it's Shelly Clark here at Lakewood Elementary. I'm the principal here, and today we are celebrating all things reading for Read Across America Day. So all of our students are participating in what's called an in-house field trip. Since we can't go anywhere because of COVID, we're bringing the fun to each classroom here in the building. So all the teachers in the building came up with fun activities that have to do with reading and different books, and they're traveling to each classroom and making reading come alive for all of our students in their classroom. We're super excited to celebrate reading today, and we're glad you're able to be here with us and have some fun.
So you're going to color A, B, A, B, A. So you'll have 3 red stripes. Boys and girls, how many red stripes are you going to have?
3.
3. I didn't hear everybody. How many red stripes?
3.
3 red stripes, okay? And
Oh,
you're going to have lots of pieces, okay? You don't have to worry about your bow tie right now. I'm going to bring you ears and whiskers and a stick. All right, next up, here comes your whiskers. Cats have little whiskers, right?
Yeah.
All right, everybody's going to get 4 whiskers.
Help me count. 1, 2, 4. Yeah. Ready? Help me count.
And count with me, Emma.
Good job.
And everybody have whiskers? Excellent. If you're done cutting,
4.
if you're done coloring, you're going to cut out
Help me count.
your hat. Now, remember, because I know we always cut on the black line, this time we're going to make sure to cut on the black line,
You need a
but only on the outside. Okay? So we're not going to cut across the stripes. We're going to keep all of the stripes together. Okay? And we want to keep the bottom on his hat, right? So you're going to have 1 piece. Everybody say 1 piece.
1 piece.
Thank you.
So
Okay?
if you don't have one
Everybody
of
so
those,
far?
I
Good?
think they do.
All right. Cut that out when you're on up. Coloring it. And then we're going to move on
See this?
to our little plate. Good job cutting. Here, let's turn your scissors. Okay, thumb in there. There you go. Hey, now while you're finishing to cut that, Miss Graham is going to come around and put your stick on your plate. Okay, because this is how we're going to make Cat in the Hat's face. Okay, as soon as you have your hat cut out and there is a stick on your plate, okay, we're going to glue with your glue stick. Listen, with your glue stick, this is going to be your face, and the hat goes on top, okay? So your hat goes right on top, opposite the stick, okay? The stick is at the bottom, the hat is at the top. Our friend Paisley did an excellent job. And then on the bottom, okay,
You didn't have a plate.
we're going to put your bow tie. Okay?
No, you put your hat on first, remember?
And the last step with your
Get a plate.
glue, you're going to glue on your whiskers. So if you have 4 whiskers,
Ooh.
put 2 whiskers
And it's going to go on each side if we have 4, guys. No, on each side of the face. Remember we talked about symmetry one time?
1, 2.
2 on one side.
2.
No, we're
That's a lot of counting. We only have 4 whiskers,
have
so we're going to
4
put
whiskers.
2 on one side and 2 on the other side. And voila, we have
Get your glue out.
cats in the
Don't touch it.
hats.
Oh. so cute.
What we're gonna do, we're gonna make a hot air balloon. Now, what story does Dr. Seuss have that has a hot air balloon? Stephanie's eyes like,
I'm like, I gotta think about that one.
well, what happens when you get into a hot air balloon? What does it do?
You go up.
You go to different places. Somebody said it. You go to different places. So we're gonna go, many places we go is the one that we're doing, okay? So we've already put the basket on there. So did they have glue sticks?
Yes.
You're gonna need your glue stick. Okay, so what Miss Stephanie's gonna do so graciously is she is going to come around and give you some tissue paper. Now, you can do this one of two ways. You can either wad up the tissue paper and put it on your plate, or you can just lay it out flat. That is your choice because this is your balloon. I would make a suggestion. Put your glue on the plate and then put your tissue paper on the glue.
Okay, so we're gonna make a Cat in the Hat puppet. How many of you have read The Cat in the Hat? Oh, awesome. So our Cat in the Hat puppet, he's gonna turn out looking like this when we're done. We're gonna go one step at a time.
When we lay your bag down, make sure that the flap is at the top of the desk, because that's where I bet the face is gonna go.
All right, so you're gonna be getting your Cat in the Hat head. And like Miss Thomas was talking about, our flap needs to go at the top because it's gonna make a puppet so that we can stick our hand in the bag, make our cat talk or do whatever, move around the way that we need to. So your head, once you get that, you're gonna glue that to the top on that flap. Okay, so once you get the head, you're gonna glue it on the flap. And I'll give you a hat in a couple minutes and we'll glue that on in a minute. So when you get his hat, we're going to glue it to the top of our head.
That's a lot of glue.
Okay?
Don't need that much. Now put it on there.
And you only need to put glue on the bottom part of the hat.
Like the brown.
Yeah.
Because it's not all going to go on the bag. It's just going to go on the top of his head. So just a little bit of glue. Alright, you're going to get the body. And the body is going to get glued kind of under the flap so that his bow tie kind of goes right there with his neck, kind of matches up. And we'll get you a tail because our tail is going to go underneath his body and get glued on there.
Here, look at my Dr. Seuss. His body's kind of black, but he has a white belly and a white face.
So
White.
you only need black and red. It's only two crayons you need.
Yes. His bow is red. This right here is a book about Dr. Seuss, the real author of these stories, Brayden, that we've been celebrating today. His real name is Theodore Seuss Gazelle, and he was born on March 2nd. So is that today? No, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow is his birthday. But he is no longer living. He passed away a few years ago. But we remember him, just like when we studied Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. They're no longer living, but we still celebrate things about them, don't we? So his parents, you know what they called him? Ted, because his name was Theodore, so they nicknamed him Ted. His mother used to read stories and sing songs to him and his sister. When he was 5, like some of you all, how many of you are 5? When he was 5 years old, he started drawing pictures of animals. Do y'all like to draw pictures of animals? So he liked to go to the zoo and he would draw pictures of animals that were at the zoo. Now, what do you think he drew a picture of, Kylie? He drew a picture of an elephant. Do you know what? He even wrote a book about an elephant. Do you know what this elephant's name is?
No.
Horton. Horton. Yeah, it's called Horton. Here's a. Y'all never seen that little movie? Okay, well it is a little cartoon video that's really, really cute. And he started to read comic strips in the newspaper. At school, he went to school too. He started drawing cartoons and writing funny poems. A poem is something that rhymes usually. And a lot of his books, like The Cat and The Hat, those two rhyme, right? So he started writing poems and they were funny. You think some of them are funny, the ones we've heard so far? And after he got out of school, he went to college. Y'all ever heard of college? That's what I hope a lot of y'all go to college. And he started working for a magazine company, and he started drawing pictures for the magazine. He went to a place called Oxford University in England, and that's another country, kind of close to the on the same area as Ireland that we talked about earlier today. He came to the United States, which is where we live. We live in the United States. And he began to work for magazine places. And that's when he started getting really good at what his talent was. He wrote, he was a writer, and he liked to draw. He was an illustrator. And he made his own name up. Because when you're a writer, or if you're a movie star, you can make your name whatever you want it to be. Like my name is Leanne Thomas, and if I were a writer, I might be Lee Thomas. Or I might be Thomas Lee. I might make my name whatever I wanted it to be. So his name was, he named himself Dr. Seuss. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Dr. Seuss. Was he a real medical doctor? No, he just liked that. He just thought, hey, I think I'll name myself that because I want to be called that. And remember, his real name when he was born was Theodore Seuss Gazelle. So his middle name was Seuss. So he went by Seuss, and he put doctor in front of it.
Dr. Seuss.
Yep, that's what he did, and that's who we celebrate.
But it's
You know what the first book that he wrote was? And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. In 1949, he was married by then. He got married, well, he was married, and they moved to California. That's another state in the United States. That's a long way away from Kentucky. And he made a studio where he liked to draw, paint, and write. So he had his own little place at home where he would do all that. And this is one of the books that he wrote. Can you tell me what the title of that book is? Without without looking too long at it? Savannah? What is the name of that book? Does anybody know? Oh, look up here. You can't see it unless
There's
you're
a one back
looking.
there, Miss Thomas.
Oh, Ellen, what is it?
Cat in the Hat.
Yes! That's called The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. That's what you all just painted right now. This guy. All right. And so then he started writing a lot of books. And he drew pictures. Green Eggs and Ham was a book that he wrote. So I'm going to stop with this book. We'll read some more later, maybe, or we'll read another book. But this is another book that he wrote.
It's a great day, and I love to read day, right? Celebrating how we love to read and a great, great author. We're going to read today a book called Tiara's Hat Parade. And then we're going to make a hat together. Some people say I have a knack for storytelling. Well, my mama has a gift for making hats. Ladies come from all over to get a Tracy Rose millinery hat. I was her helper, the best hat model around. Hold your head high, Tiara, Mama would say, as she slid her sunny day special on my head. Tangerine with gold feathers fanning out. I felt like a bird showing off its colors. Now strut. That's right, baby. Show them how it's done. I would sashay around the studio and the ladies would clap and shout. Go, girl! The laughter jingled like silver charms. But when that new hat store opened with hats that cost way less than Mama's, the stream of ladies slowed to a drip. What does that mean? Keegan, what does that mean? When the new hat store opened down the street with way less of that cost way less, the stream of ladies slowed to a drip. What's that mean? They weren't coming in to buy things, were they? Where were they going, Keegan? Yes, they were going to the other store, weren't they? Where the hats were cheap, right? Or cheaper. I waited in the living room window with a smile ready to dazzle. Day after day, nobody came. We can't eat our dreams, Mama said one afternoon, sighing. That store can afford to sell hats cheaper than I can. Daddy and I helped Mama pack away all of her supplies, her fabric, her feathers, her beads, sequins, and buttons. Then came the hardest part of all, tucking her hats into boxes. Daddy hugged Mama. Because how do you think Mama was feeling?
Bad.
How do you think, Talon?
Sad.
Good word. That's a good feeling word. Why was she sad?
Because she loves how to make hats.
She loved making hats. But Michael, what did she have to do with her hat store?
Close it.
And why did she have to close it again, Ellen?
Because she had to take it to the store.
Why did she have to close her hat store? Does anybody remember? Keegan?
Because nobody was going there.
Yes, nobody was coming to her hat store. Why? Where were they going, Brayden?
To the other hat store.
Yes, to the other hat store that had opened because they were selling hats
Left.
for less money. So nobody was coming into her store, right, Maya?
Making it more expensive so she could get more hats.
Yes. So she had to close her shop and she was sad. Good job, Talon. I I can work extra hours, Dad said. Don't worry, we'll be okay. That day, Mama closed her studio for good. Now, no one goes into that room, ever. It just sits at the back of our house, quiet and lonely. When my school had a job opening, Mama went back to what she did before, teaching art. Can we make a new hat after school? Tiara asked Mom. No, honey, you have schoolwork to do, and I have work I need to do. But you're always just too busy. Let's talk about something else, she said, her voice sharp as a hat pin. Then it was hushed as a feather. Every day I walked through the house, I passed her studio. And one Saturday morning, Michael, when she was out running errands and Dad wasn't looking, I gently tiptoed and opened the door to the studio. The room, it groaned softly like someone slowly waking from a nap. And I was in. I saw Mama's hat stands. They looked silent, as if soldiers on guard. I reached for a hat box and trembled. Okay, we talked about this the other day. When you're trembling, raise your hand. What feeling do you have? If you're trembling, nervous, I think she was nervous. Isn't that what we do when we get a little nervous sometimes? And our stomach gets naughty? Yeah. So she was shaking. She was nervous. She raised the lid. Inside was Mama's purple pride. I slid it on and felt a smile rise up in my heart. I don't think she was nervous anymore. She was happy. I jumped when I lifted the brim and saw her staring at me from the doorway. This was something special, she whispered. Can it be again? I said. Now, sweetie, Mama said. Just put that hat away and come on out. I told you to stay out of here. I held back tears, but did as Mama said, tucking the hat back in its bed and sliding it under the bed. She put her arm around my shoulder, and then she locked the door behind us. But the next day at recess, I thought about Mama's hats. I pictured them when we drove home. At dinner time, I slipped in a silent prayer after grace. Amen. And please help Mama make hats again. On Fun Friday at school, Mama let us in art class choose our project. And I shot my hand up as quick as I could. Guess what she said? What did Tiara want to make? What'd she want to make? Say it out loud. Hats! She said hats! Mama cut her eyes at me. Please, Mrs. Rose. All the other students sang. Her frown turned into a smile. Okay, hats it is. We made hats with tall crowns, big brims. Oh my goodness. Some were plain, some were fancy, some were purple, some were blue. Some had sequins, some had buttons. Some had feathers, too. So Mama swept across the room like a magician, helping us add decorations with waves of her hand. My friend Maddie put hers on, and she had a frown. Show me your frowns. So how was she feeling if she has a frown about the hat she made? What word would describe that feeling? She had a frown, Ellen. She was probably what about her hat?
Sad.
Okay, sad. Talon, is there another
Mad.
thing? Maybe mad or upset or disappointed. Have you ever felt disappointed? Yeah, like, oh, it just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, is what Maddie's thinking. So Mama went over and helped her out. She cocked the hat to the side a little bit and said, how about that? Yes, TP party time, Maddie said. Her giggle reminded me of laughter spilling out of Mama's studio. I sat up straight and smiled. I knew exactly what to do. Look, Riley, put your hat on. Put your hat on. Ooh, I love it. I love your hat. I told Daddy my plan. Look this way. So Tiara went home and told her daddy her plan. Do we know the plan yet? Not yet. That's a really good idea, baby girl, he said, smiling. We checked with the principal and Daddy got the addresses and I got busy. Come to the hat parade at Height Elementary. I wrote in big colorful letters, bring your favorite Tracy Rose hat and a story. She's gonna have a what, Paisley? She's gonna have a hat parade. Yay! Look. So on the big day, Mama is sitting in the auditorium for what she thought was an evening concert. My classmates and I marched up on the stage with our creations. Then the hat ladies came. Look at this one. Miss Irving, she pranced to the microphone first, wearing the scarlet sass in class with its glittering black swoosh. You made this for me to wear to the opening of the Ebony Fashion Fair exhibit. I looked sharp and I knew it. Miss Ball strutted up next wearing the emerald. I'm telling you, when I wore it to the Women's Day, everyone asked me where I got it. And the last one, Ellen, Miss Cohen swirled in Mama's silver showstopper. I was so nervous when I won that big award. You said with this on, jitters don't stand a chance. So one after another, they shared their stories. Then I stepped up and pulled out one that I made for Mama. This is for you, Mama, the Better Days bonnet. You made the sun shine with your hats. Maybe this will do the same for you. Look at what Tiara made. Oh, what color is the Mama's hat, Kylie? Yes, do you like it? It's beautiful. I laid it on her head like a crown. Mama's eyes gleamed like morning dew. Oh, so how do you think Mama's feeling now, Savannah?
Happy.
Yeah, I think she's happy. When her eyes gleamed like morning dew, Michael, I think that's a sure sign that Mama's happy. By the time we left, listen to this. Mom had a few hat orders. That means she has to go home and make what?
Hat.
Yes. I could already picture us back in her studio. You know, the one that's locked up, right? They shut down. I can see it now, us in your studio. Funny thing was, I didn't just see me modeling hats anymore. I saw me making them too. Mama touched her hat and smiled. You got me good, she said, her laughter like jingling charms. I think you're right, Tiara. Better days are coming. Because she's going back into her studio to do what? Yes, make hats. How many of you would like to try to make a hat today? Yes, let's make our own hats. Then I've got one you can decorate any way you want. With your crayons and supplies at your desk, decorate your hat any way you want. Okay? And then we're going to cut it out and we'll put it on your head.